asking the community to create their own shard card ideas to add into FragPunk. What could possibly go wrong? Hey guys, Nightfall here, and you might remember a couple weeks ago I did a video discussing the event that FragPunk launched, asking the community to submit their own card ideas, and they showcased a few of them that were already submitted. I also reviewed those cards, and some of them were pretty good, but there was also some pretty awful ones as well, and when I say awful, I mean they were just fucking terrible. But now we actually have some finalists, so before I show you these cards, let me start by explaining how this is all going to work. So any card ideas that were submitted from March 7th through April 7th will get 25 total finalists. We already have 10, which are going to be the 10 cards I go over and show you in just a moment. And then next week we'll get 15 more. So if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, have notifications turned on so you see when I post that video with the other 15. Then from April 8th until May 7th, cards submitted during that time frame we'll have 25 more finalists announced, and then with a total of 50 finalists, they'll allow the entire community to vote on them, and the top 5 will be put into the game when Season 2 Chapter 2 launches. Now with all the official dates and stuff out of the way, let's take a look at these cards, and the first one is a very familiar one because it was one they already showcased in that old announcement. And honestly, the art on this looks like it's already in the game, and I think I said that in my last video about this one too. But it really looks like one of maybe the art directors that are already working on this game secretly submitted this one because it looks like it's already in the game. But anyway, it's called Head and Toes, and basically the headshot multiplier gets moved from your head to your feet. Good for all you potato aimers out there maybe. I just worry that if you try to aim at their feet now, you'll just miss and hit the ground, whereas if you're trying to aim at their head, at least maybe you're hitting their chest or shoulders or something. Moving on to the next card, again, another familiar one called Trojan Horse, where you can hide inside the converter. How would this work exactly? I don't know. Would they pop out on the start of the defuse forcefully, or do they have the option to pop out just whenever? Could you hide in the converter once it's already planted, or only if you drop it somewhere? Just seems like there's endless possibilities and too many questions here, and it could be a very broken card, but I do kind of like the idea. Next card is Boomerang, and this would allow you to throw your melee weapon like a boomerang, and this could make for some really strategic plays. Imagine going to defuse the bomb and you throw your knife as far as you can right before you start to defuse, and then right as the enemy swings you to stop your defuse, your knife comes back and kills them, you defuse and clutch the round. The clips would be just insane with this card. So when this voting thing comes out, please vote for this card. The next card was definitely somebody who just finished binge watching Squid Games, and it's called Stop Go, I guess because they didn't want to make the title obvious and just call it red light, green light, even though in the description they say that's exactly what it is. But this would give the whole map a red or green tint to it, and when it's red, if you move, you take 10 damage per second, and when it's green, you move faster. I don't like it. 10 damage per second seems like a lot. Maybe 5 damage per second would be a little bit more reasonable, but I just really don't like the overall card. Seems like it'd be too annoying to deal with, especially in ranked, so I'm definitely not going to be voting for this one. The next card is Jump Scare, and it would just activate, I guess, randomly and jump scare the enemy once in the round. How they would get jump scared, not sure. Would somebody yell in their ear, scream? I have no clue, but it could be a fun card to add. The next card is Ticking Time Bomb, and this is kind of like a hot potato. It would just place a bomb on one of your enemy's heads, and it could be passed around until the round starts, and then it detonates after 60 seconds unless the person wearing it gets a kill. Again, seems like an annoying card and almost a free kill for one team if played correctly, and it just doesn't seem like it would be a fair card in ranked. And yes, I do understand that we have cards that are not in ranked, that are only in unranked, and some of these cards could work in unranked but not ranked, but ultimately I'm looking for cards that work in both, and this next card could be just that. It's called Shadow Cat, and honestly the picture here is just anime Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Like, who submitted this card? But what are we doing? Seriously. But this one would play out really similar to the card that we already have called Infernal Hounds, but instead of somebody being set on fire, it would just flash them instead. Could be an okay card, but I like new things, and this just seems like a copy paste of what we already have. The next card is called Fake Defuse, and it would allow you to play a fake defuse sound when pressing 5 or Z on your keyboard, or I'm assuming for my controller players out there, since whoever made this card doesn't know we fucking exist, that would be down on your D-pad. I would assume the idea here is you can play it from anywhere in the site, which could be good, and I don't necessarily mind this one, but playing defuse sounds anywhere on the map would just be broken. If you could just activate it from wherever, it would just be too much chaos. The next card is called Jumping Castle, and it just turns all the floors and walls into bouncy castles, or bouncy floors, or bouncy walls, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how I feel about this one either, but it does speak volumes that the devs picked this as a finalist to vote on, because that means that there's a possibility that this could go into the game, which means that doing something like this is possible. And it just makes me think of so many other ideas that could be done. Not sure I'd want this one actually in the game as a card though. Could be fun as a game mode, but we already have too many different game modes that people don't play. So then again, maybe not. Then the last card we have here is Prop Hunt, and I think this is another one we've already seen previously, but a little bit more adjusted with the wording. And it would allow you to use your ability to transform into one of your hero's gadgets. And the immediate question I have is, what if you're playing someone like Corona who doesn't really have a gadget that stays in one place? He just throws his fireball and that's really his only gadget. Are you going to turn into a fireball for 2 seconds before it lands on the ground? Just seems like there needs to be a lot more thought that goes into this card. But I do love me some Prop Hunt. So even if they did add this card to some capacity without turning it into a game mode itself, it could make for some really cool custom games with this card enabled by default. But those are the 10 finalists we have right now. Can't wait to see the other 15 next week. Let me know your thoughts on these cards down in the comments. And if you haven't submitted your own ideas yet, be sure to do so. I'll leave the link for that event in the description, and I'll catch you in the next one.